This is the Panhandle Prepper with part 2 of this honor. I just can't get it out of my heart. I was going to let it go with just that one video, and I know a lot of times a series of part 2s and 5s and 7s that they don't get viewed as much, but I really don't care about views. Not that I don't appreciate it, and not that I don't. I'm thankful for the people that have subscribed and literally hundreds and hundreds of views I'm getting, but that's not what it's about. I just want to try to be a help, and so this is going to be part 2. I have a couple more illustrations, and then I want to talk to you about some ideas on honor, some ideas of things you can do when the people come to your door, people that you know in tears and crying and knowing that you've been talking to them over the years about prepping and they haven't been doing it. And what are you going to do when these people show up at your door crying and begging you for food? You're going to have to make a decision. It's going to have to be an honorable decision, and you're going to have it pre-planned and already thought out before it happens, so you don't fall to pieces too. Now here's some more on integrity. It's when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. When character is lost, all is lost. Character, integrity. In the Marine Corps, they drilled it into our heads, and they would say intestinal fortitude. That's what they called it. That means having guts. It means doing the right thing at the right time and trying to just do right. Here's another illustration. It says the measure of a man's real character is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out. Now there's going to be a lot of loose cannons and a lot of probably a lot of young people who think just because they have a lot of guns that they're going to come to your place and try to get your food. Now if that happens and things do fall apart, you have a right to protect yourself. You have a right in this country, a free right under the Constitution and a God-given right to protect yourself and use deadly harm when necessary in the confines of the law. Now when there is no law, what's going to happen is people's real character are going to come out. And you're going to have people coming to you and people that you may even know. And you're going to have wisdom at that time. And of course you're going to want to pray and ask God to help you with these things. But you're going to see the real character coming out. You're going to see people just acting unbelievable. People, maybe people that had honor will lose honor. You can lose it. You can lose your honor, but you can also gain it. You can also gain it back again. It's never wrong to do right. You have to remember that. Now here's a couple ideas that I had you may want to think about. How to help somebody restore their honor when the things get tough. A helping hand is a lot better than one that pulls a trigger. And again, there has to be discretion on this thing, but basically what I'm trying to say is that when you're on this road of prepping, and after you've been prepping for several years or even more, you're going to find ways that are going to be easier for you to put up some cheap means of some backup food for friends, loved ones, or for other people. Now imagine someone coming in. Maybe they even breach your security. Maybe they even come over your gate, and then when they're stopped, they ask for food. And I realize that if you give them food, the word's going to get around. You're going to have to deal with more and more people. I realize that. Now the only options would be is to turn them away harshly, or give them a small piece of something, maybe some hardtack, maybe some biscuits in your backpack, maybe a handful of sprouts with a mini sprouting kit that they can take and sprout. Maybe some jerky, maybe a cheap can of tuna fish, anything. Maybe you can give them something and then you can set a boundary immediately and say, listen, this is all I can afford to give you. I want to be a help. May God bless you, and here, take this. I don't count you as an enemy, but here's the boundary. If you come back and step over my boundaries again, I'm going to be forced to defend my property if you try to come in and take from me or hurt from me. I'm just letting you know. But as a friend this time, I'm going to give you this small token of my honor. Something like that. That sounds silly, but something like that can save a life and help a life. And then when things iron out a little bit, you may have gained a friend, a comrade in arms, restoring someone's honor. That's what this thing should be about. And all the stories, maybe not all of them, but quite a few stories of the Civil War, you're going to see how the honorable leaders of the Civil War still have a good name to this day. And you have to remember that. Leading with honor is where it's at, and you just can't lead with your gun barrel. I'm not saying that the use of arms is not going to be necessary to preserve, but just think about these things. So those are some options. Maybe, just maybe, as a thought, you can even hide some small provisions of food outside of your property, and maybe that would be part of a bargaining situation to avoid a shootout. Maybe that'll be something you could use. If nothing else, at least that's food that's put aside away from your main stash. You could use it if you're outside the gate, outside the perimeter. You can use that. You're never going to go wrong with stashing up food in alternate locations. But food is going to be the ultimate barter item when it comes time when people get hungry. When people get hungry, or when I should say rather, when people think they're hungry, they're going to do irrational things. And it's going to be up to you and your honor to do the right thing. The right thing is going to be something that's going to be in your heart. Intellectually, you're going to have to analyze it and think about the right thing to do and why you're going to do it. But there's going to the leaders in your group, or maybe the leader, whatever level you are at your group, it's irrelevant. But there has to be a level of honor. No, I don't mean to beat this thing to death, but it is so important to think about this. And that's why this country, and that's why the politicians of this day and the different things that are going on that you're seeing, is because there's no honor. There is no punishment for breaking the law. Men don't live by honor, they live by the almighty dollar. And that's wrong. So I just want to encourage you, as a part 2 of this video, to think about your honor. Now, I know when I was in the Marine Corps as a young man, years and years ago, I went in because I believed in honoring this country. I believed in death before dishonor. I've got it tattooed on my body. And I don't think it's right necessarily putting tattoos all over yourself, but it's just a point to show you my heart as far as the way to honor. I was taught in the Marine Corps to honor God, country, Corps. That's what I was taught. And it stuck with me over the years. I've always been somebody that's been for the underdog, to somebody that's picking on them. And quite frankly, without getting too super political, we're being picked on, and that's what's going on. So you have to retain your honor and think about these things. Why am I prepping? Why am I wasting all these hours filming videos and doing shows and writing columns? And I'm not saying me, I'm saying whoever it is in the prepping community. Even those preppers, and I'm not bad-mouthing anybody. I appreciate, I've learned a lot from a lot of people. But it seems like there's a lot of preppers that have a lot of combat experience, and they want to give that out freely, which is a good thing. But don't forget to impart honor. Part of being a leader is imparting your honor to other people. It's contagious. You see, when you show your heart as a man, other men want to follow that heart. They want that honor. A young person today, they want to be clean. They want the honor. They want to do right. But the problem is there's just not too many men that they can follow that have honor and are willingly going to do the right thing when the stuff hits the fan. I would rather be around a group of preppers that are underskilled, undergunned, undertrained, but have the heart of our forefathers. Have an honorable heart, and then have a closet full of guns. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Your battle rifle doesn't make you an honorable man. Your food supply doesn't make you have honor. You have to have your own honor, and you must keep your honor. You must develop your honor if we're going to pass it on to future generations. Without honor, this country will never make it. It will never gain back the integrity that we once had with our founding fathers without honor. And quite honestly, I'm upset about this. You know how many videos I see of all these so-called preppers that just, they're profane. It's all guns, 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 guts, guns. I actually watched a video one time of a prepper who talked about slitting another person's throat in her sleep if they felt like they should do that for whatever reason. Now, what a sick, demented, unhonorable, reprobate mind that is. We live in a day and age. It's sad. It's sad. So I hope that I encourage you today to think about this great country of ours that we once had that's slipping away from us. And if you're going to prep and have a rebound in character and honor, it's going to have to be passed down from the top of these groups, from the top of the chain of command. You look to politics and things like that, and our leadership, even in some of this government that we have now, the honor is gone. And without honor, money creeps in for the love of money. Now that's about all I have to say, and I hope you get something out of this, and I hope that I've maybe pulled on your heartstrings as a man and to question yourself, examine your honor in your heart. Why am I doing these things? What am I going to do when an honest and sincere person comes and wants food? Am I just going to shoot them? What am I going to do? How am I going to help? Not only are you prepping for you and your family, as you are prepping and preparing for other people that are around you. You see, prepping is not just all about you. A prepper wants to hide in the bunker and be quiet and just wait for the storm to ride out. And that may be so. There may be a time where that's advisable. However, to turn this thing around, the grassroots, you notice how all the politicians are using this grassroots terminology? The grassroots of this country is honor, integrity, justice, and judgment. And passing that down to the younger people in this generation and generations to come. Without honor, all is lost. That's it for today. And may God bless you and help you to retain your honor. And if you don't have honor, you can get it and gain it and retain it. Thank you for watching.